This 39 Dunedin News Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on 39 Dunedin News, a plan to fight obesity in children is tabled, but a local expert says more could be done. We meet the Dunedin student who's using personal experience to change disability perceptions all over the world. And artworks return to the walls at Dunedin Hospital. We find out why they disappeared in the first place. Good evening, Dunedin. I'm Rebecca Dupree. A government plan to tackle childhood obesity is being welcomed by the city's health professionals. More than 20 initiatives are being introduced to tackle the nationwide issue, but a local expert says the plan could go even further.
Sorting through the latest ideas to reduce childhood obesity, the government has just released a large-scale plan to combat the issue that affects a third of all New Zealand children. It includes 22 initiatives to help improve the damning statistics, and experts are pleased it's finally being made a priority.
It's recognising that it's a real problem. We've got a third of our children who are overweight, who have an unhealthy weight, and that's going to affect them for the rest of their lives if it doesn't actually come in, if their growth doesn't come in right.
The problem goes beyond just baby weight, with the country's overweight children consistently staying big as they grow up. A lack of support is being cited as one reason behind increasing childhood obesity. With government now pushing for change, clinicians are hoping more resources will be prioritised.
If you actually do an assessment and offer support, dietary, activity, sleep, a range of things that we know do help, then you need support to make the changes in the family. And that support needs to be once a week, once every 2 weeks, by phone or by visit. And that's what we've not had the resources for.
Extra health checks for 4-year-olds to identify and address problems is being welcomed as a step in the right direction. But there are still concerns about where the government's plan falls short, particularly around advertising.
Self-regulation by people who are trying to make money out of unhealthy foods just doesn't work. So I would much prefer to see some regulation around advertising for children on TV and also on social media and on the internet.
Some of the government's plan has already been implemented, including a ban on sugary drinks at Southern District Health Board premises. In time, it's hoped that a continued focus on reducing obesity results in other problems being reduced as well. Ruby McAndrew, 39 Dunedin News.
Local authorities are urging residents to be extremely careful with severe weather forecast for tomorrow. A weather warning for strong gales and high temperatures has been issued for the Otago region. The Met Service says conditions will be very similar to when fires broke out across Saddle Hill and Dundback recently. That's prompting police and firefighters to warn the public about the increased risk of fire. Locals are being told to expect strong nor'west winds of up to 130 kilometres and temperatures of up to 25 degrees. Authorities say residents should stay vigilant and keep vegetation away from power lines. An Otago Polytechnic student is trying to change the perceptions that people have around physical disability. The occupational therapy student has recently been spreading his message internationally, and he's been using his own personal experience as motivation.
Disability versus difference. This local Polytechnic student has just returned from the International Asia-Pacific Occupational Therapy Conference. That's where he's been pledging his case for shifting the words used in relation to disability.
I wanted to challenge some of the language that's associated with physical difference, or any difference for that matter. And by difference I mean whether someone has a condition or something that varies from the norm.
He was born without his right hand and foot, and with his left leg ending at the knee. Despite his differences, he's achieved highly in the sporting arena, both as a boxer and as the national under-18 archery champion. It's proof his physical limitations haven't been holding him back.
I've never seen myself as being disabled, and I think that those around me, those that know me, don't see me as disabled either. And if I look at my peers, they've always treated me as though I'm able.
The conference was full of industry professionals and researchers, and Agello's input as a student was a personal one. He took up occupational therapy because he's been doing it on himself all his life, and he's wanting to help others.
It was really encouraging to be in an environment with lots of OTs who are really thriving and really passionate about the profession. So it was quite encouraging for me as an emerging therapist.
The 22-year-old is finishing his final year of study and is planning to further his passion in the development of prosthetics. Annabelle Dick, 39 Dunedin News.
A recent burglary in the student quarter is prompting a stern warning from police. Officers are investigating the burglary of a Regent Road flat that was left unlocked early yesterday. Thieves gained entry through a ranch slider and rummaged through 2 women's handbags. They stole 2 wallets containing identification and bank cards. Police are concerned that students, particularly females, are leaving their properties unlocked during the night. They're urging students to keep their doors locked at all times and report any suspicious activity. Some notable works of art are back on display in the Dunedin Hospital foyer. They've been behind closed doors for the last 6 months, while an art committee has been fighting a suggested alternative, and now a compromise has been reached.
Dusting off the cobwebs. After months in storage, 5 artworks by Ralph Hotary and Eileen Mayo are being put back up in the Dunedin Public Hospital. They were taken down as debate raged over the introduction of a university-funded information screen. It was opposed by an art committee, but thanks to a contrasting lick of paint, a happy medium has been reached.
I have grown to like the television and informing us of the temperature and the time of day. So with a little paintwork behind the television screen, it seems to have worked well. So it's taken a while, but it's been successful.
Those involved in getting the art back on the wall say it's a relief to see it on display again. It's been heralded as a win, not just for committee members, but everyone who visits and works in the hospital.
It has a great value in regard to the benefits for the patients, of course, the staff as well. And they like to be very vocal about what they like and what they don't like, and would you mind taking it down? I don't find that the patients do say that because they're hopefully off home the next day. But the benefits are immense, really.
The works are valued every 2 years, but their current worth is being kept under wraps. It's a substantial amount for the trust that owns them, but their value is more than just financial.
What a good idea that was, an investment for one's benefit in the health. It's not just medicine, it's the visual impact that art does for people.
The newly reinstated works are also benefiting from the recent replacement of the lobby roof as well as new lighting. It's set to shine a spotlight on the hospital's art collection for years to come. Ruby McAndrew, 39 Dunedin News.
Still to come on 39 Dunedin News, volunteers at a local radio station are about to be celebrated and a national campaign sets sail as summer nears.
Big Orange for all your movies, records, books and games. Pre-loved needs and vinyl records, 45s, DVDs. A South Dunedin family-owned business for over 15 years. Check us out on Facebook, opposite Westpac on the sunny side of King Edward Street.
Bring some more joy into your world by adopting one of our adult animals at SPCA Otago. Call now on 473 8252. Please adopt a pet now, they will love you forever.
At your locally owned and operated Veggie Boys store, we've got fresh produce daily, fruit, veggies and more. Competitive prices is just one of the reasons people come to us in all seasons. Convenient locations and friendly crew, Veggie Boys Dunedin, come try something new. Stores in the north, the south, be our guest, Centre City as well to serve you the best. Daily specials on produce that are hard to beat, all tasty and healthy and all good to eat. Don't forget we've also got your milk, bread and meat. Veggie Boys Dunedin, your guaranteed a treat.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Hedges are something we almost take for granted. A good hedge needs regular maintenance to look its best and to add value and character to your property. For all your hedge care needs, call the team at SGC Services on 0800 783 453.
Mobility Scooters Otago. Mobility scooters, new and used, electric manual wheelchairs, strollers and walkers. Free home demonstration and delivery. Call Tony on 03 455 2875 or visit our showroom, 211 Kinneedwood Street, opposite Westpac.
Grandad loved his family and surfing, in that order. He taught me to surf, and we spent a lot of time in the water together over the years. When he died, I strapped the camera to the nose of his old board and filmed the paddle out at St. Clair. Gillian's played the video on the big screen at his funeral. Grandad would have loved having everyone come out one last surf with him.
Gillian's Funeral Services, helping families celebrate the lives of their loved ones for generations. Gillians.co.nz.
Mosgiel Mowers Plus can help you with products to make your garden maintenance jobs easier. Lawn mowers, ride-ons, chainsaws, line trimmers. Sales and service are our specialty. Mosgiel Mowers Plus. Phone 489 3572 22B Gordon Road, Mosgiel.
Active Furnishers Limited, home of quality service with superior product and an in-house design team who are always happy to advise and create an imaginative solution for you. Active Furnishers Limited, part of Dunedin's design history.
Are you within your legal rights to take one life in order to save another? Welcome to the ambiguities of law. Because whilst the law may be clear, there is still room for both yes and no.
What? No!
The decision will depend on logical thinking and the art of argument. And this is what we learn at New Zealand's first and world-renowned law faculty.
You can stop now!
I'm Latafale, and this is my place in the world.
Take your place in the world.
Congratulations, you're getting married. Hi, I'm James Morris, wedding celebrant, and it's my privilege and a pleasure to bring you the perfect ceremony for your perfect day. Don't wait or contemplate. Your consultation is free with no obligation. jamesmorris.co.nz.
Welcome back. It's believed that many residents are paying less for electricity than a year ago. That's based on recent data issued by the Ministry of Business, Innovation and Employment. It shows that electricity retailers reduced their energy prices by 2.3% in the last financial year. The Electricity Authority says that shows competitive pressure in the market is benefiting customers. And on that note, let's take a look at today's markets. The NZX 50 has closed the day up 61 points. It's now at 5,895. The Nikkei is up 32 points. And to the exchange rates, the Kiwi dollar is up against all the currencies we follow. Countless hours of volunteering go into the local community radio station. Otago Access Radio is about to celebrate its volunteers, and community liaison Jeff Harford is here to tell us more. Good evening, Jeff.
Hi, Rebecca.
What is Otago Access Radio?
Otago Access Radio is a not-for-profit, community-based public access station, one of 12 around the country. So what effectively that means is that we've got programs made by, for and about the people of Dunedin and Otago, citizens making their own radio.
How much do you rely on volunteers?
The only people who aren't volunteers at the station are the management, and everyone else who's on air talent are volunteers, with the exception of myself. I do the morning show. But every other program made is by a volunteer, and we call them volunteers, even if they might be making a program on behalf perhaps of a community organisation, because invariably they're not getting paid for being on air. So in fact, they're the lifeblood of the station.
How many volunteers do you have at any one time?
I think at the moment there's just under 80 broadcasters working across not quite as many shows. So yeah, that's a huge number really, and it's a very big family.
Are you a 24-hour operation?
We are. During the evening, night time, we broadcast the BBC World Service, but from the morning show right through until late at night, it's local content.
Now, what are some of the programs that those volunteers work on?
Oh, look, there's a whole range. As you can imagine, there's quite a few music buffs making shows, but there are community organisations making shows, everything from, say, Asthma Otago talking about breathing difficulties to MS Otago making a program. We have the Dunedin Council of Social Services making programs looking at the social services sector. We have people making political shows, we have people making environmental shows and sustainability shows. It's a very broad base of programming.
How does the radio work benefit the volunteers?
I think a lot of people find that it's quite a nerve-wracking process coming into broadcasting, but they come out of it with improved communication skills for one thing. I think also it does a lot for the organisations they are representing if they are doing that as well. It's the voice of the community, it's their opportunity to have their say, so it's a good way of them, organisations who wouldn't otherwise have public outreach in the mainstream media, having their voices out there. And I think they enjoy the fraternity of being amongst the public access broadcasters, and really it's kind of the last bastion of true public access broadcasting in that sense.
Are you looking for more people to be involved?
Always looking for more people to make shows, Rebecca. And we're happy to talk with anybody who might have a show that they might have an idea about, even if it isn't fully formed, because part of what we do is help them and mentor them and train them. And I should also say that one of the things we do is we provide free training in the production side of things as well. So that's another skill that people can take away from their experience of making a program with us.
Now, you mentioned earlier that the only paid positions are those of management, so how is that funded?
Our largest funder is New Zealand On Air, and they provide around about 60% of our funding contingent on us producing a certain type of content, and that is with the programming for people in our community who aren't otherwise represented on the airwaves. So we have been doing well and meeting their targets in that regard. Other than that, we're like other not-for-profits. We apply for grants and we get generous support right through the year from those. And there is a small charge for airtime for the broadcasters, which is subsidised by that support that we get from our major funders.
And you've got an awards ceremony coming up for those volunteers.
We do. Every 2 years we get together and do that. Our Air Awards will be held at Burns Hall at First Church on the 7th of November. And we've got roughly 83, I think it is, programs have entered in the Air Awards this year under 10 categories. And we have an external panel of judges working on listening to those shows right now. It's about celebrating their achievements, and there will be winners on the night, but more than anything else, it's actually about just getting together and celebrating the great work they do and sharing it with the community, who are also welcome to attend on the night.
Otago Access Radio Community Liaison Jeff Harford, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.
After the break on 39 Dunedin News, a national campaign targets a particular type of water user, and we'll find out what's in store weather-wise for us tomorrow.
Sir Bob Charles, New Zealand's greatest golfer and still going strong.
I'm sure that Sportsville was a contributing factor to my success, and I'll continue to use it.
Sir Bob Charles Sportsville, a product so good he puts his name to it.
Well, I believe Sportsville helps maintain your quality of life.
Now being used by active men and women globally to support strength and mobility.
It works for me.
Sir Bob Charles Sportsville in the new all black pack. Call now for the Sportsville special, 0800 502 402.
McClellan Refrigeration is your one-stop shop for heat pumps in Dunedin. We have a range of heating, air conditioning and refrigeration solutions. We also have 20 years experience. McClellan Refrigeration, call us on 477 0088.
Pallet fires are growing in popularity in Otago, with people who want a clean and efficient form of home heating. The sight of a burning flame without the problems of chopping, stacking and carting wood around is a winner. Pallet fires, so easy, so efficient.
Hedges are something we almost take for granted. A good hedge needs regular maintenance to look its best and to add value and character to your property. For all your hedge care needs, call the team at SGC Services on 0800 783 453.
At your locally owned and operated Veggie Boy store, we've got fresh produce daily, fruit, veggies and more. Competitive prices are just one of the reasons people come to us in all seasons. Convenient locations and friendly crew, Veggie Boys Dunedin, come try something new. Stores in the north, the south, be our guest, Centre City as well to serve you the best. Daily specials on produce that are hard to beat, all tasty and healthy and all good to eat. Don't forget, we've also got your milk, bread and meat. Veggie Boys Dunedin, you're guaranteed a treat.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Wake up time and another frantic day ahead for Haraway's Oat Singles. With 3 delicious flavours in each pack, they don't last long with this family. They're so convenient and tasty, and they're ready in seconds. Haraway's Oat Singles are the ideal breakfast or snack on the run for today's busy families. And there's a flavour to suit everyone. Beat the rush and make sure you get your favourite flavour. Haraway's Oat Singles. Try new Kiwi Favourites Caramel Variety Pack.
This year's Oamaru Heritage Festival's theme is Alice in Wonderland, celebrating the sesquicentennial of its writing. Join us in Oamaru November 11th to 16th. See www.vhcu.co.nz for details. And don't be late for this very important date.
Pregnant? Need to talk? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Pregnancy counselling services are here to help. It's free, it's confidential. Call us now on 0800 773 462.
Welcome back. Local police are continuing to investigate the online shooting threat made to students at the University of Otago. As yet, no one has been arrested in relation to the incident. The threat was posted anonymously on an internet messaging page. It kept a large number of students and staff away from the university on the 7th of October, although the institution was officially open. Staff who chose not to turn up for work on campus that day are being told it will count as a day of annual leave. That decision is being criticised by the Tertiary Education Union. The local Coast Guard is urging people to prepare for a safe summer. Authorities are pushing the welfare message for Safer Boating Week as part of a nationwide campaign. And there's one group that's most at risk.
Preparing for the sea. The head of the local Coast Guard is making sure he's doing all the necessary checks before taking to the water, starting with the condition of the vessel.
Well, we've got the onset of summer coming along, so now's the time to make sure that your boat's ready and fit for purpose for the summer activities. You know, whether you're going into the lakes or out the open sea, it's important now that you do the checks.
Maritime New Zealand's current awareness campaign is pushing for boaties to make sure they're properly equipped. It's an urgent safety message after 27 people died in boating accidents throughout the country last year. Coast Guard staff say those type of accidents can be prevented by taking the right precautions.
Well, we've got a horrific, statistics about drownings in New Zealand, and a lot of them associated with boating. So people need to be aware of what their responsibilities are and what can happen when you're in that marine environment.
The message is to be responsible when dealing with the water. That means checking the forecast and tides beforehand and having a reliable means of communication for emergencies.
It's all in a preparation. You know, make sure as I said earlier, your boat is fit for purpose and you've got that right equipment. So in addition to what we've just talked about, you know, you have flares, life jackets that must fit the people.
90% of New Zealand's deaths at sea are men, but Callis says there's no such thing as being too much of a man to wear a life jacket. Annabelle Dick, 39 Dunedin News.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on 39 Dunedin News. A top local health professional is welcoming the government's plan to tackle childhood obesity, but says it could go even further. An occupational therapy student who was born with physical disabilities is trying to change stereotypes around the world. And a fight over valuable artwork at Dunedin Hospital has ended in a compromise, with paintings being returned to the foyer. And it's time now for a look at what's going to be on the pages of Wednesday's Otago Daily Times. And Bruce Query joins us once again. Hi.
G'day, Rebecca. An Otago man's high-range drink driving reading has stunned a judge in court today. We will be having more details about that high wind warning and hot temperatures tomorrow, which have fire authorities very concerned across the region. Ticket sales at 2 Dunedin cinemas for the new Star Wars movie have taken off at light speed.
Funny.
Yes, good. Did you like that one?
Yeah, no. Sorry.
In sport, Otago driver Hayden Padden signs a big deal with Hyundai for the FIA World Rally Championships, plus the Silver Ferns are taking on Australia.
Ooh, that's all in tomorrow's ODT. Have you got your tickets for Star Wars?
No.
Not really that interested?
Probably not.
Yeah, okay. Cool. Just wait till it comes out on DVD.
Yep, good
Thanks,
idea.
Bruce. That's tomorrow's ODT. Time now for local weather.
This local weather report proudly brought to you in association with Silberhorn Sportsville.
Here is today's city view. It's taken looking towards the town hall. And around the city at 3 o'clock today, the central city recorded 19 degrees at 3 p.m, 20 at the Gardens, 21 out on the Tyree. To the situation, and the familiar west to southwest flow is still with us, although a trough of low pressure is due over the South Island tomorrow. To the forecast for some of the main towns on the lower South Island for tomorrow. Rain with a southwest change for Invercargill and Gore. Strong nor'westers with heavy and or late rain for Te Anau and Alexandra. Highs range between 14 and 17 degrees. Strong nor'westers with rain for Queenstown, just high cloud, and Oamaru with strong nor'westers there, 22 degrees, very warm. And strong nor'westers with late rain for both Wanaka and Twizel. In Dunedin tonight, gusty nor'westers developing. The high cloud will increase. We're expecting a low of 9 degrees. Tomorrow, strong to gale force westerlies with scattered light rain. Sou'westers and showers at night, a high of 23. And on Thursday, showers clearing and becoming fine and sunny. Cool sou'westers dying out, just 14 degrees. And to the Otago Pallet Fires tidal and fishing information. High tide tomorrow morning is at 12 to 11. Low tide follows at 5:45. And fishing conditions look reasonable, particularly around 7:30 tomorrow morning. And that is local news for Tuesday. We'll see you again tomorrow. Good night.
This 39 Dunedin News Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.